Hey, RetconRaider here, with special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Dragon Matrix 7, Mathew Smith, Revenant, Alois, Drakiith, the Eerie V23, EgonAlter, Emile, Emma Gentry, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, let's get started. And welcome back to the Rogue Trader Alpha. As today, we just seem to have been dropped off in the middle of a corpse-strewn cargo bay, so I guess we'll just start wandering around and see where that takes us. Though I do notice a disconcerting number of corpses off to the right that I'm fairly certain we didn't create. So that might be a good place to start. Hey, buddy. That looks like it's really bad for your back. Okay, no, I bet this was like the station security or something. The Anvers probably killed them before staging their ambush. But, regardless, that gives us access to an auto pistol. And right after I said that it would have been nice to have a pistol in our off slot. That way we can still make range attacks even if there is a melee enemy right on top of us. Though a sawed-off shotgun would be nice, if they actually have them in this game. The tall, hunched tech priest stares at you unblinkingly. His gaunt face is a sickly gray hue, while his augments show signs of combat damage, and are plated in black chromium, giving him a general air of lugubriousness. Yes, that is certainly a word. It means to be lugubrious. Initiating identification procedure. This unit is defined as Logis Opticon 22, and is a fully authorized representative, structural part of the Cognizance Fleet and the Brotherhood of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Access has been granted to the following options: information exchange, strengthening of diplomatic links, trade deals, donations. Initiating official greeting procedure for esteemed high-value visitors. Glory, success to House von Valentius. A binary aria begins to flow from the scratched vox attached to the tech priest's chest. Requesting information exchange regarding contractual obligation, Logisticar Theta. Pascal and Opticon 22 exchange glances, and a short series of binary signals before bowing their heads in satisfaction. Opticon 22's head bows noticeably lower than Pascal's. I'm sorry, who or what is a Logisticar Theta? Under the contractual obligation in question, 34.761 Terran cycles ago, the Explorator Cognizance Fleet received from representatives, authorized units, of the von Valentius dynasty, a volume of high-grade promethium equal to the fuel capacity of 6 Tantelian void tankers on the planet Udif Project X, Santiel's Pride. Received it and then didn't pay. Compensate. Remunerate. Settle accounts. Should I go on, or is that enough synonyms? The stipulated payment reciprocal offering from the Cognizance Fleet can be made to von Valentius assets at the current time, after which the contractual obligation will be fulfilled, archived. Confirm your status regarding acceptance of the payment reciprocal offering. So, hold on, you waited 30 years to settle up this account? Execution of payment reciprocal offering is in accordance with the specifications of the contractual obligation. Allocation of assets from the holdings of the Cognizance Fleet was initiated when the tankers reached the main squadron, 14.905 Terran cycles after the initial transaction. The asset allocation process concluded 2.663 Terran cycles later. Transportation of assets to the Furibundus system took 16.862 Terran cycles. Final delivery of assets to Footfall took 0.331 Terran cycles. Clever. If you had been purchasing fuel for a squadron at the other end of the Imperium, you may never have had to pay it back at all. We would have turned to dust before you made it there and back. Okay, so this is a trade you worked out with Lady Theodora. This statement is true. The Cognizance fleet concluded 1,292 contractual obligations with the von Valancius dynasty, as represented, led, administered, by the counterparty identified as Theodora von Valancius. Sure. And what exactly is it that you owe us? Universal Mobile Orbital Deployment Extractiums, Astra Aerator Processing Complexes, in the quantity stipulated on the contractual obligation. Each unit has undergone a cycle of maintenance liturgies and has been assessed for conformance to the Sacred Standard template construct.
Great creations of the Omnissiah, blessed be his beneficence, which has bestowed upon these complexes industrial might and a full cycle of reproduction and life support.
Well, now I have even less of an idea of what these things are, but thanks. Thanks, Pascal. And obviously, we've got a choice here. We can either accept their payment of whatever the things they said are, or we can decline the payment and likely gain reputation with the Adeptus Mechanicus. Which would be nice if this were a full campaign and we were doing long-term planning. But given that it's a limited, unfinished alpha, I think it's fine if we just collect our prizes. The request is accepted. The sacred machines will be loaded into the hold of your vessel. The contractual obligation Logisticar Theta is concluded. The Cognizance fleet thanks Unit Rogue Trader von Valancius for his cooperation. And we have gained 8 mobile extractiums. Neat. Thanks. So, aside from waiving payments that you owe us, is there any other way that I can get in good with the Adeptus Mechanicus? The Brotherhood of the Adeptus Mechanicus is interested in, considers expeditious, cooperation with rogue traders. Under the terms of the Treaty of Mars, it is willing to provide services to the von Valancius dynasty. The priority of service tasks can be raised if diplomatic links are strengthened. Cool, and how do I do that? The Cognizance fleet will be glad, alternative unavailable, to accept 1. Any samples of sacred technology, 2. Samples of profane xenotech, 3. Miscellaneous items. Reminder, storage, study, and/or disposal of the aforementioned objects with the exception of 3 miscellaneous items is the preferential right of the Adeptus Mechanicus. And that got us a new task. Nice. The Explorator fleet will also accept information about planets in the Coronis Expanse that have not previously been recorded in the Planetary Register. Why do you want information about unexplored planets? Omnifaceted study of the Coronis Expanse is the sacred mission operational objective of the Cognizance fleet. Information about the planets and star systems of the Coronis Expanse will be compiled, studied, and transferred to the holy repositories of Mars upon completion of the Great March of Exploration mission. This process increases the totality of knowledge and decreases the totality of ignorance in the universe. A noble goal? Okay, sure. And here I was thinking you guys were up to something sinister. Wait, why do you want profane xenotech? The Cognizance fleet finds it reasonable to believes that forbidden knowledge in the hands of the laity causes destruction and violations that go against the Omnissiah's will. Weakness of mind and will unleashes xeno-heresy, which consumes the laity whole. Oh, okay, so you want to keep it out of the hands of the normies. To remove temptation. Yeah, I guess I get that. An example that demonstrates the outline pattern, the void station in the system of Langren's belt. According to the data available to the Cognizance fleet, the heretics on the station have trade relations with Xenos for the sake of obtaining dangerous and pernicious technology. The destruction of these heretics is of high priority, but not high enough to demand immediate action. And that sounds like another quest hook. So it definitely behooves us to talk to these random named NPCs, because we've been talking to this guy for 10 minutes and we've already got 2 new quests. And there's our quest. Nice. Opticon 22. That's an interesting name. The designation Opticon is an identifier with an illustrious history, a significant number of archive references, and is used by many explorators in the Cognizance fleet. The extension 22 is a custom edition made by the current unit designed to highlight the unit's unique personality. Yes, unique. That is certainly a word for it. And what exactly is the Cognizance fleet? The Cognizance fleet is an explorator fleet produced by the Adeptus Mechanicus for the purpose of surveying, optionally conquering, the Coronis Expanse. Wow, just kind of snuck that conquering thing right in there, huh? The fleet's core squadron is located in Data Classified, while auxiliary echelons and autonomous void vessels are operating throughout the entirety of the Coronis Expanse.
May the Omnissiah's favor be with my tech brethren.
Pascal reverently touches the Explorator insignia on his robe. You're an Explorator? Then why are you here and not out exploring? This unit functioned as a senior planetary scout for the duration of Data Classified procedural cycles. It was distinguished with 1. 3 promotions by 1 grade, 2. The right to a Tier 2 sacred augmentation, 3. A note in the fleet-wide archive as a valuable unit. Cool, congratulations, that must be an honor. After a reconnaissance mission in the Tanaris system, this unit was promoted to the rank of Logos and transferred to Footfall, in order to perform the functions appropriate for its current status. There is something close to wistfulness in Opticon 22's otherwise emotionless voice.
My archive contains data on the reconnaissance of the Tanaris system and the associated special circumstances. I express my respect for a veteran and adherent of the fleet.
Valid assessment. The Tanaris system was a great test of faith, an assessment of this unit's durability threshold, an act of destructive xenocide. Oh, well, that is quite a combination. What exactly happened out there? Pascal and Opticon 22 turn to you and snap in unison.
Data classified!
Right, my mistake. Sorry. Query withdrawn. Why are you here, then? This unit performs 1. Residential representation, 2. Maintenance of the bureaucratic machine for the purpose of ratification of the insulating boundaries, 3. Management of the Kappa thread supply line, 4. Compilation of astrographic reconnaissance data. Right, so like a diplomat. Abelard lets out a long and heavy sigh. There was once a tech acolyte in Lady Theodora's retinue who knew the unique language of the esteemed tech priests. He only began to realize the true value of his abilities after he'd been devoured by a xeno-beast on some nondescript world. Pascal, could you help us out here? A hiss of static resembling a sigh comes out of Pascal's box.
Opticon 22's functions can be conveyed through flesh speak as functioning as the fleet's diplomatic mission, overseeing shipments, ensuring that the laity does not encroach upon the explorator's sphere of interest, and collecting data on star systems.
Okay, so yeah, I actually got most of that. If you're representing the tech priests, then why aren't you at the local lord's palace? Prolonged communication with lay people of high social standing causes this unit vexation, desire for forceful cessation of vital functions, grief, decline in motivation, righteous fury, willingness to initiate purity protocol. Remaining in an area of repair and maintenance of sacred machines is beneficial to this unit's cognitive functions. Yikes. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I get it.
This statement is true. The behavioral dynamics typical of lay groups are frequently devoid of logical patterns and are taxing to analyze.
No arguments here. Alright, I think that's everything. Thanks. Information assistance mode deactivated. So, can we make a new trade deal? How do we do that? Oh, that just opens the vendor interface. Actually, wait. What is profit factor? Well, I mean, clearly it's a representation of relative value of the rogue trader's warrant. But, in actual practical mercantile terms, what is it? Okay, so there's not like credits or conventional currency in this game. We have profit factor, and that seems to be what we buy items with, because I see PF next to those. But then when we sell things, we're selling for RP, which is... what, reputation? Okay, yeah, they have an RP tracker over on the left, too. We buy things with profit factor, but we sell things for reputation. Oh, I see. If we sell enough items worth reputation, we gain access to specialty goods. But they are pricey. Alright, so let's say we just wanted, like this, the Mazoa pattern auto pistol. That's 17 profit factor, which is directly deducted from our profit factor. And then it mentioned that profit factor regenerates over time. That's interesting. So if we sell this bundle of melee weapons, we would get 100 RP, 100 reputation, which is not a lot, because we would need to sell 100 of these in order to afford anything over on that specialty list. Though, I mean, I imagine there's other bundles that are worth more reputation. This is, after all, basically just vendor trash we picked up off a bunch of corpses. And then profit factor. Profit factor regenerates at a rate of 0.3 per cycle, it said, but how long is a cycle? Because the impression I got from talking to this guy is that a cycle is a year, and if it's a year per 0.3 profit factor, it's obviously not ideal. And a full set of range weapons is also 100 reputation. What about armor? We've got a whole bunch of extra flak armor here, so we might as well dump that too. Oh, hold on. Mobile Extractium. A mobile mining outpost assembled in accordance with the Blessed Standard Template construct. This small industrial complex can be deployed in practically any world, however inhospitable. The Serf clan assigned to it will devote itself to the maintenance of its sacred mechanism and the extraction of resources needed by the rogue trader. 10 profit factor. So how do we collect that profit factor? Do we actually have to take it to planets and install it somewhere, or do we just sell it directly back to this guy? That would be a little silly. But yeah, that implies that that stack of extractors is worth 80 profit, in which case we could actually buy a bunch of stuff from this guy. Ah, and there. That armor set is worth 120 reputation, so different types of cargo sets are worth variable amounts, depending on, I guess, the overall perceived value of the items. Very abstract, but very intriguing. I don't think I've ever seen a trade system quite like this. Multi-keys. And, okay, well, hold on. We can buy and sell mobile extractors for 10 profit margin? That makes me even more unclear on how those things work. Well, I will futz with that a bit off-screen, because I would like to pick up at least one or two of those items. I just want to make sure I know what I'm doing before I do.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Oh, did I fail? How did we fail? Do we not have anyone who's trained in commerce? Standard containers for transporting large cargo. Also, a corpse. More random vendor trash we can sell for reputation.
Follow my lead.
Ooh, a secret treasure cache that we can see through walls. Locked, you say? Or locked? Well, in that case, I'm going to go buy myself a dozen or so multi-keys. Opticon 22, I require your services. I will give you 1 abstract measurement of profit factor in exchange for 10 multi-keys, please. Nope, wait, that's 11 multi-keys. Nope, wait, that's 9 multi-keys. Stop. No more. Thank you. Now, we'll go and crack open that lock. We will not crack open that lock. How do you use multi-keys? Not like that. Wait. Okay, that's why the multi-keys don't work, because this isn't a conventional lock. This is a puzzle. We've got an incomplete combination lock on the side of this container. Take this trash to wherever you found it. I won't accept it. Don't even ask.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Internal report. I'm writing to inform you that 2 days ago the discharge was interrupted by a raid launched by the Anvers gang. In the attack, 3 loader servitors were put out of commission. Furthermore, 1 cargo container, serial number FVDA1-16165, was stolen, along with its contents. Intriguing. Perhaps a stash we can find. Or maybe the one we already found but can't currently access. Who's to say? I guess we'll find out when we crack that thing open. Because we are going to crack it open. It is inevitable. Alright, where to next? Over here, I guess? Or over here? These maps are so dense, it's easy to get overwhelmed. But I see some skill checks we haven't done over there, so let's check that out. Near those corpses? Oh yeah, those people are dead. And do we have anyone who's trained in commerce? Abelard's at 50, that's not bad. Right, so Abelard's our point man on commerce with 50.
Compared to naval service.
And we passed that check. Nice. The container is labeled Destination Janus. It is covered in dust. It must have spent a long time at the docks. Okay, so it is randomized, and the way it checks it is incredibly straightforward. It's just a straight-up percentile check versus your base score in it, plus any special modifiers, which in this case was plus 10, representing that this was, I guess, an easy or routine check. It does leave a pretty wide margin for failure, though. Drinkable engine coolant. Delicious. And hand-carved idols of the Emperor, which went into uniform kit? Is that servitor your father? That's really depressing. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm gonna go. Cyber Crypta and Broken Combi Tools, which went into Mechanicus Creations. The corpse looks horrifying. The victim was thoroughly beaten before being shoved into the crack between the boxes. One of the hands is clutching a blood-stained paper. Strange memo. 1. The Holy Book by the Altar. 2. That Void Dam Customs guy. He's always on duty. Does he get any time off? Does he even leave for a piss? Is he a servitor or something? 3. Guess what? 4. Hanger by the window. Remember to bow to the Emperor through the window. That sounds like a series of clues for a 4-digit code. The Holy Book by the Altar, the Customs guy. We saw the Customs guy a moment ago. He was the direction we didn't end up going in. 3 would be... 3 might be just be 3. And then 4, Hanger by the window. We saw the window on our way in. The cutscene specifically focused on it. So we just have to go back there and look for any sign of what hanger is next to it. Yeah, that seems pretty straightforward. Told you we'd find something. Let's go collect these clues and we'll find out if it's worth all the effort to crack that thing open.
None shall stand in my way.
There's the window. So where is the hanger? Finest wines from Janus. That's not a hanger. Fight for Imperium. That looks like a hanger number. Hanger 111. Which I'm going to truncate into a 1. So that means the 4th number is 1. Now we just have to find a holy book, and we have to go back and look at that customs guy we saw a moment ago.
Follow my lead.
And in theory, we should have a full 4-digit combo.
A new challenge for me?
A new challenge for me? The walls of the container have rusted, and its contents rotted away. A situation that's not uncommon for shipments trying to pass through Imperial customs. Now is our time, not theirs. Go to their homes, drag them out of their beds, carve open their bodies like carcasses at a slaughterhouse. The Imperial Navy, Kaspelaka, Korda, von Valancius, their names mean nothing now. Tomorrow we'll erase them from memory. Go and seize power, as much of it as you can carry. ANV. That is definitely Anver's gang propaganda. Oh, hey, there's the customs guy. Rank 5 functionary Alengar Quistoris, which I'm going to truncate to a 5. Are you from the Van Valancius ship? You may pass without a check. An order came from the Liege to let you through. Why, thank you, my ghostly friend, but I'm busy. I'll get back to you later.
Victory awaits!
They say the Emperor sent his angels here. And they used their swords to carve this majestic statue from an asteroid. May the Emperor and Drusius the Warrior guide my feet. A small altar, the central spot, has been given to Drusus, a saint from the neighboring Calixis sector, who is widely revealed in the Coronis Expanse. And there's our holy book, Life of St. Drusus, Volume 3, which gives us all 4 digits. Three, 5, 3, 1. Gotcha.
None shall stand in my way.
Three, 5, 4, 1. Hey, look at that. Interrogation goggles. +5 bonus to lore Xenos tests. And +10% to hit chance against Xenos. Well, that sounds fantastic. Psyker's footwear. These boots grant their wearer a +1 bonus to initiative and a +2% to dodge for each psi rating level. Also exceptional. And a single multi-key. Well, now I feel silly for buying 10 of them, but I guess it certainly doesn't hurt. Let's parcel this stuff out real quick. Oh, let's hand off the knuckle dusters while we're at it. Those should really go to whoever has the highest coercion score. Which is Abelard. There you go, buddy. And then the interrogator's goggles go to whoever has the highest Xenos lore. Which is, of course, Pascal. And then the Psyker's boots go to one of our Psykers. And look at that, it actually does change the character model. That's a nice and entirely unnecessary touch. Oh, also, that's what the top left gauge was on our combat UI. That tracks your character's psychic stability. If you use excessive psychic powers during combat, you risk tearing a hole in the veil of reality.
Won't tolerate weakness.
Those boots keep you grounded, make it slightly less likely.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
The container is marked foodstuffs, but it's empty, and by the looks of it, has not been moved in a while. And more Anver's propaganda. I suspect we'll be seeing a lot of that as we wander the area. Primitive tools. Pack of glow sticks.
It's about time.
Right, which are all going towards building additional cargo packs. And that's it. Let's push on to the next area. Oh, we did miss something. We missed some corpses. We'll just toss that stuff straight into cargo packs. And we are headed to the atrium or the shadow quarters. I guess the atrium. That's where the Liege's residence is. I'm guessing the shadow quarters where we'll eventually have to track down the rest of the Anvers. Okay, more catwalks. Not what I was expecting. Let us explore. Is she back on Footfall? I thought she'd left on a pilgrimage for good. That's probably in regards to our Sister of Battle companion. The one who specifically asked us to check with her former reverend.
This Explorer tool is blessed with multi-functionality.
These columns appeared here back when the station was founded. When it was assumed that Footfall would become a wondrous palace in the stars. The heart of Footfall is a colossal statue of the Emperor, carved from a single asteroid. Well, good for him. And what do we have here? Machine rite or ritual? Well, we can't do machine right. We don't have a machine right set. Okay.
A new challenge for me?
So I guess we really just hacked that console and opened that gate. They just used techno-magical jargon for it. We've also got loot down below. We'll grab that once we're done up here.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer. That's you. That's what you sound like. Great sword. High damage, low pen. Plus 10 parry. And a weapon skill debuff on stricken enemies. Plus a commander's monocle. That buffs a very specific leadership ability. The commander's goggles will go to Cassia, because she is our only leader. Looking good there, Cassia. And then the greatsword. The greatsword does more damage than the power maul, but the power maul has a whopping 5 penetration. The power maul also has a stacking stun effect. I'll have to think on that one.
Follow my lead!
Yep, that's a corpse, all right.
Excellence matters.
The numerous wounds and injuries indicate that this was a particularly brutal murder. The letters A and V are carved into the victim's shoulder blade. Yet another victim of the Anvers. Those guys get around.
Shall stand in my way.
You have anything to say about this? Nope, I guess not.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Alright, we have 2 things we have to grab down here. We have this paper. Which is yet more Anvers propaganda.
It's about time.
And we have a crate right around the corner. A locked crate. Which it turns out Pascal can just hack open. But I'm sure the multi-keys still come in handy for tougher locks.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Look, it's the Holy Sister of the Adeptus Auroritis. Be blessed, children of Terra, and may the Emperor's light never forsake you.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Xander Sonatus' courier service. A letter for you. Thank you, thank you. It's been a while since I last received a letter. Hopefully it's from some young lady that's smitten with me. No. These are bills. Yep, bills are a part of life. Enjoy it while it lasts. Footfall's levels are situated between huge supports resembling scaffolding. It seems a new concept for the interior design was started before the previous ones could be implemented. One of the many chapels. It looks better tended than most places in Footfall.
Follow my lead.
World of Rykad Marnoris falls victim to dark powers. Remember its demise and strengthen your faith. Footfall's Drusian mission accepts donations. Of course it does. Why would it not? I mislaid my favorite flask a few days ago. For the life of me, I cannot imagine where it's got to. I wonder, perhaps one of you purloined it? Adiro, how could you say such a thing? We're all friends here. What, is it just because I keep taking everything that's not nailed down? Man, those random cargo items do not stack quickly. That's a whole lot of work for 120 reputation. Yaldery. Behavior duplicitous aggressive. Habitat woods. Diet infants. 2 to 3 a week. Fears the Emperor. Righteous people. Come one, come all. Peer into the eyes of the enemies of humanity. Interesting. Drukara. Behavior villainy malice. Habitat everywhere. Hides among people. Diet, doesn't eat, feeds on blasphemous thoughts. Fears, the Emperor, prayer, righteous thoughts. Punish the Xenos, a coin for a go. Okay. I'm going to assume you probably deserve that. And quietly walk away. Sorry. Xenobestis unknowness. Behavior, cruelty, trickery. Rampant mating. Habitat, void, doesn't need air. Diet, rocks. Here's the Emperor, fire. Press X to doubt.
A new challenge for me?
A new challenge for me? More stuff up top. And more stuff over here. The wares here are shoddy-looking weapons built out of questionable parts. A small food booth. The portions look meager. Hold the line. Don't let them escape. The buzzing crowd has closed in on several harried-looking people. Some of their faces are smeared with fresh blood. The angry cries and twisted faces leave no doubt. A massacre is about to take place. Just cut their throats already. What were they thinking, letting that ship dock at Footfall? They're all stricken. No, no cutting. We get their blood on us, we'll be tainted too. Better burn them. Be quiet, you scoundrel! A priest, clad in a simple black raiment and wielding a staff, cuts through the crowd like a battleship crossing the sky. You dare pass judgment on others? What arrogance to think you have the right! Argentus starts at the sight of the elderly priest. That's Reverend Hieronymus. I'm surprised he's decided to intervene in a street squabble. What's going on here? Several dozen gazes bore into you. And who are you supposed to be? Good question. I imagine if I say a concerned citizen, you will react negatively. But let's not reveal we're a full-on rogue trader either. I'm an envoy for Lady Valencia. You come from Lady Theodora? The rabble-rouser bows his head respectfully. Pardon me, noble sir. We were just, rooting out heresy here. These scrawny ones, they're from the ship that came from the bowels of the Coronis Expanse. They've got plague there, and mutants. And now they're spreading that rot everywhere, that taint. They're all... Silence! The priest, who has remained silent up to now, raises his staff. You must be completely out of your minds! A band of woefully dim-witted sinners who think themselves bringers of justice. Who are you to pass judgment on anyone? All you ought to be doing is suffering and repenting till the end of your days. And what's so wrong about that, Reverend? We just want to put these heretics to death. We're not heretics. The haggard man is on the verge of tears. We're refugees. I swear it on the Golden Throne. We served the Imperium faithfully until they hung us out to dry. Where were the protectors that were meant to shield the lands of humanity from nightmares? Traitors! Traitors and heretics! The lot of them! A murmur runs through the crowd. The people gawk at you, at the priest, at the wretched group huddling in the center. How tiring. The motley sea of colors that fills this restless crowd is hard on the eyes. So many hues, but most of them are acid yellow streaks of fear, their red buds swelling, ready to burst and paint all who are gathered here. Cassia looks at the crowd of troublemakers wearily, and they shudder at the very sight of her. As for the hearts of those who have been forced to defend themselves, they are shrouded in purplish-black grief, but their words are as transparent as the ice that lies at the top of a glacier. But commoners are always deaf to others' suffering, for such is their nature. Interfering in their affairs is hardly worthy of you or me, rogue traitor. But we will nonetheless get involved, because this seems like an ideal time to get on Father Hieronymus's good side. Especially given that we have a guaranteed chance to defuse the situation. Though, accusing the servants of the Imperium of being traitors is problematic. You're leveling some serious accusations. I hope you have proof to back them up. What more proof do I need? The man shouts. Kiava Gamma used to be a prosperous world. My family transported goods from there for generations. And then they came. They butchered, tortured, sacrificed entire blocks to the darkness. We were on our ship, up in orbit, and all those messages started coming in. Half the guards down there joined them right away. And they even reached us in our ship with some blight that made half our crew take their own lives. We barely escaped. We barely made it here. Why? Why did this happen to us? I wonder what all this is about. Is our planet really under attack? Or did some devious opportunist send these slanderers here to undermine the might of the Von Valancius dynasty? Who could it be, I wonder? There is one guy. I bet you've heard of him. His name's Conrad Voitvir von Valancius. He ran from us not too long ago, after having his ass handed to him. He must be itching to get even. Which I imagine is a reference to the prologue we didn't get to play through. Sounds like another Tartuccio. Get even by besmirching the dynasty to which he belongs, and supremacy over which he laid claim? He is scum, but he's no idiot. No, I think this is something else. There are many who wish to weaken House von Valancius. Either that, or it's much simpler. These people aren't lying, and their planet was captured by heretics, and the rest of it they made up themselves. I can sense darkness in their past. I may not be an expert on Conrads and their schemes, but when it comes to things like this, I know what I'm talking about. Alright, that's good enough for me. Let's go ahead and... let's go ahead and send these guys to the dock. We'll follow up with them later. Sounds like that's one of our planets anyway, so we'd want to check it out. I represent the Von Valancius, masters of Kiava Gamma, and thus I have the right to decide what to do with these people. I command the onlookers to disperse, and as for the rest of you, go to Dock Alpha Rho and await further instructions. Oh, we failed. And what makes you think we'll listen to you? Maybe you're one of them, here to help out your heretic buddies, huh? Sure, you say you're a Von Valentius envoy, but Void knows if it's true. Just stay out of this. You too, priest. I hope you don't plan on letting this insult to your house slide. Abelard is glaring at the crowd before you, furious. All right. And here I was thinking we were about to wrap the episode without a single fight. Silly me. Seeing that the crowd's attention is distracted, the refugees from Kiava Gamma make a run for the docks. Go on then, wreak your depravity. The Emperor already sees all the rot and baseness that reign in your souls, and I place my hopes in his judgment. I assume you're talking to the instigators and not to me, right? Yeah, I'm probably right.
Your doom has been foretold.
You will fall! Brace yourself, Abelard.
Whose voice was that? Brace yourself, Abelard! Okay, so I have to imagine this is a pretty trivial fight. These guys can't be much of a threat. I mean, we just took down a whole gang 30 minutes ago. These guys are just rabble, armed with what look like sticks.
On it.
Nice. Except for the part where it, once again, tagged a friendly. So we really can't use that move if we're anywhere remotely close to an ally, because it will chain into them. Ow. Oh! Well, see, that man has a gun, but I don't know if it actually makes him more dangerous. At least not to us. Wow. Alright, let's kill the rest of these guys before that guy beats us to it. My tactics are flawless.
Already done. Nothing of value has been lost.
Oh my. Nothing of value has been lost! I kind of love the main's default voice. I'm not going to do it, but
All too easy.
that is an interesting voice set. It's not bad, it's just not what I pictured coming out of that face.
It will be done.
At your beck and call.
At your beck and call.
Emperor, give me strength.
Leader, lead.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
And auto pistol. That should let us fire from melee. Yes.
Nothing I can't do.
Nothing I can't do. Oh man, I love that voice.
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Yeah, I need to pay attention to what the various companions sound like in combat.
Enemies of the Emperor will be undone. Doubt is for the weak.
so I can get a better idea of what they're supposed to sound like. Also, yeah, these guys clearly never stood a chance. But it is nice to get a chance to flex, even if it's just a little. And we'll just toss all this stuff straight into a weapon cargo pack.
None shall stand in my way.
None shall stand in my way. A stall selling old knickknacks for everyday needs. Right, and that was the food stall. Okay, so we were facing this way. And we have goods right over there. Which is yet more propaganda. Non-stacking propaganda. I hope we have an actual use for all this stuff. Another flyer. Yep, more propaganda. What about this? This statue undoubtedly depicts Parsimus Dewaining. The legendary rogue trader who founded Footfall.
It's about time.
The sight of this cogitator would be enough to break any tech priest's heart. The machine is leaning slightly to one side, grimy, covered in scrawled drawings, with frivolous writing scratched here and there on the casing. Several keys are missing, and the rest are coated with dust. Pascal's respirator lets out a mournful hiss before he says, grimly,
The right of operation has been repeatedly and blasphemously violated. Requesting the identification and punishment of the sinful acolyte entrusted with caring for the spirit of this machine.
After a series of creaks and groans, the cogitator's dusty screen lights up. On it are several lines of text. Section headings.
Praise the Omnissiah. The machine spirit of this cogitator is aggrieved, but willing to serve.
Accompanied by crackling of a binary prayer, Pascal's mechadendrites gently place a couple of keys lying on the floor back into place. Welcome. The screen flickers a few times before revealing to the world a text in low Gothic. In the name of the founder of Footfall Station, conqueror of stars, builder of outposts, the noblest rogue trader Parsimus Dewaining, and on behalf of all his descendants, I welcome you. This cogitator was installed on the order of the illustrious Parsimus, so that the needy may tap into the flow of his wisdom. Cast your eyes upon the list of sections, and choose what you wish to know. Abelard's brow furrows. Parsimus Dewaining? I've never heard of such a rogue trader house. Whoever this Parsimus was, he sure thought big. Lord Captain Parsimus Dewaining, one of the trailblazers of the Coronis and this station's founder. I've read about his great deeds. Lord Dewaining was once a colonel of the Astra Militarum, but, by his will, later inherited a warrant. He accumulated enough power to gather a small fleet of loyal allies and venture out to conquer the Coronis expanse. They say Footfall was meant to be his personal palace world, but the construction dragged on for decades and Lord Parsimus eventually died of old age. His enemies instantly tore Footfall to pieces and turned it into the bastion of humanity we know today. One that is full of bandits, privateers, hustlers, and rogue traders. Pleased with herself, Cassia nods slightly to let everyone know that the lecture is over. About Footfall. Footfall Station has been envisioned by the great Parsimus Dewaining as a palace in the stars, as majestic as the spirit and mind of its creator. As of the year of this cogitator's installation, merely a small fraction of the great Parsimus's design has yet been made a reality, but already their audacity and grandeur are staggering. Footfall is to become the gateway to the savage and barely explored Coronis expanse, a foothold for future conquests by the Imperium and the noble Parsimus Dewaining, who acts by the Emperor's will. The cogitator wheezes and blinks, clearly trying to shut down. Not if I have anything to say about it. Apparently I had nothing to say about it. Oh, really? We basically rolled a critical failure. A natural 100. Awesome. The attempt to fix the ancient cogitator ends poorly. After a long, rasping groan, the cogitator goes quiet. Pascal's Vox wheezes mournfully.
The spirit of this machine is enraged, and will perform its function no more. I will see to it that the profaners responsible for its maintenance are marked for servo penance.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Man, now I'm bummed out. I really wanted to see what that last thing said. Oh well, such is the nature of RNG. You can't win them all. Anyway, we are well past time, so this is as good a place to break as any. We'll hit the pause button for now. I'll take stock of the areas we have yet to visit, and we'll pick up here next time, as we finish up with this level and then track down the people we're actually supposed to talk to. The Liege and Reverend Hieronymus. And as usual, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to see what folks think about this thing, because I'm still digging it. See you next time. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official websites. And if you'd like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things, or maybe even check out the Patreon, the YouTube memberships, or the Nexus GG page. Links are in the description.